Good. Hello, you. I hope Mango's down here somewhere. Yeah. Oh, you getting on my lap? All right. Here's Moki to say hello this morning. The cats don't care for the noise in our kitchen renovation upstairs, so they come down here and visit during class because it's safe and they like people. Yeah. Mango's around here somewhere, but I think she went into the other room. This is Moki. Moki's the boy. Last weekend, he got stuck up a tree for 24 hours. We had to get the fire department to get him down. He hasn't gone out since. Well, he did go out, just dashed out the door once, and then we brought him right back in. We really don't want him out now, so we've started trying to make him an indoor cat. Yeah, he is such a sweetie. They both are. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to all my students who will see this later. Yeah, of course.
Morning.
Morning, Bill. How are you this morning?
Okay.
Good.
Yep. How's the
Good.
kitchen? How's the kitchen coming?
Um, Step by step. The cabinets are gone. The tile is gone. Um, the electrician is coming this morning.
A day late.
A day late. uh,
It must be
the,
part of the genetics of being an electrician.
Gosh, I hadn't thought of it that way. I think you might be right. uh, and so it's progressing. The Will has a couple of things to do, and then the building inspector has to come and check it before they do anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he has to pull up the wood floor in the hall and put down the new flooring. And and the rest of it.
Yep, yep. No, I remember. You know,
Yeah.
I and my son-in-law did most of the gutting,
Uh-huh.
which helped. Certainly on the cost end.
Yeah.
And then the first thing to go in was the floor. So,
Oh yeah, you got to do the floor first.
yeah,
The cabinets are here. They delivered
yep,
all the cabinets, so
yep.
that's encouraging. Um,
Morning, Bill.
I'm
Morning,
moving
Bill.
here. Morning, Bill. I'm moving here because Carol and Joanne just arrived. I thought I hadn't heard from them, so I didn't know if they were coming or not. So
Yeah, you have to arrange the furniture.
yeah, I have to rearrange myself.
Um, how are things in Connecticut?
Oh,
Not bad.
Not bad. Cool. Might make it to 70 today.
Oh yeah, we're only slightly warmer. So
And
got
rain.
cool. 2 days
Yeah.
of cool and rainy.
Yeah.
Gee,
We're due to get rain this afternoon through tomorrow morning. So it's that would be a big help. It's fine.
yeah. The edge of that hurricane that's not coming ashore.
Yeah, that's what this is this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not really coming ashore, but we're getting a little bit of a reaction.
Right.
Bill, I don't think I told you, Bill Bynum, but we're suddenly in the midst of our kitchen renovation 4 weeks early, and so
Oh, I did hear that you talked about that at one of the meetings. Yeah, they're
yeah,
coming early. Who ever heard that?
yeah, I know, 4 weeks early.
Weeks early, not just an hour early.
No, so we were, of course, first tied up just getting the kitchen emptied and ready, and now I've been catching up, so I haven't gotten your thing filled and sent to you.
Okay. Well, there's not a rush.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, I decided to read Moby Dick again, so I just
That'll take a while.
Good
just a
morning.
great book.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
We're doing good. Oh, hello. Last time I saw you was last Thursday on the camera.
The cats are down here because our kitchen renovation.
Yes, we saw that. He was out there getting stuff.
4 weeks early they've started.
Well, maybe they'll get done 4 weeks early.
Right,
Yeah.
and the boys are coming, right?
And the boys are coming. And of course, they just called us last Wednesday and said we'll be there Monday morning. And so we had a wonderful 3 or 4 days of chaos getting ready. Fortunately, we had some idea of what we wanted to do, but
Bags of
Have they already been there, or are they coming?
oh, they're here.
We can
We're here
hear them.
Monday morning.
No,
Right?
yeah, the they is
Okay.
not the boys, it's the contractor, you mean.
Oh yeah, the contractor's been here. The boys aren't coming until next week.
Yeah, no, we can hear them. I just saw the guy actually through the
Yeah.
basement window.
So, will you have a kitchen next week, or are you just gonna
Nope.
like
They
cook out?
decided to come anyway. So we have a hot plate and a microwave and a grill outside and
Right, and the
and restaurants.
I was going to say in restaurants.
yeah, Chinese takeout. I wouldn't mind going to that place near the bridge, the Chinese place.
Oh
What's the
yeah,
name of it?
it's pretty decent.
Oh, that little sandwich shop. What was it called?
Yeah. Had
Two
a-
Badland Cats.
Oh, two wrestling cats? That's
Yeah.
a fun place to eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do dinner though, right? They're just
No.
kind of breakfast, lunch
Breakfast.
stuff.
Breakfast and lunch. And chat. You have to talk when you go in there.
They always chat with you when you walk in there.
The owner is just a nice guy.
He is.
Just loves to talk. Kind of slows things down.
Yeah,
a little.
but that's kind of what you can kind of tell. He's like a cat, you know.
Okay. I wasn't sure you guys were coming today.
We should have.
I don't think you sent me an email this week.
I should have. I think you'll get an email if we're not coming. That's more likely.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was busy this week, and last night I was like, Carol, going, go. Yeah.
This was the week my brother-in-law's celebration of life was on Saturday, and my daughters arrived
Oh.
on Thursday and left on Monday. And
Oh, wow.
And then we did a memorial. We did a memorial on Saturday and coordinated the food, although we didn't make it all. So we were both like,
I'll bet.
anyway.
which
But we're here.
also goes to say, not a lot of practicing happened this week.
No, neither of us were saying that in the car. Neither of us
No excuse.
no excuse.
Okay. We'll accept where
well,
we are
yeah,
where
let's
we
go.
are. I haven't done a lot of practice either.
See, everybody. What about you guys?
Good. I will just warn you, the electrician, I hear he's finally arrived a day late. And they will undoubtedly be coming down the stairs and going into the other room to the electric panel is in there. So just don't be concerned about that. So,
I thought you were going to say, and we'll lose our electricity. I hope
Say
not.
bye-bye, guys.
Yeah, because we could be in the dark, but we need this.
yeah.
Outside.
No, he's. I've gotten Will to assure me that he'll make sure he doesn't kill the power. Although if he did that, our generator would kick in.
Oh, right. I forgot.
We would still lose connection for them in that
Yeah.
few seconds.
Yeah, you have to reconnect. So, any questions or thoughts to begin the day? Other than not a whole lot of practice? Either Bill?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
That was very weak back there. Okay.
No, I guess the one thing I'll just say is I'm kind of, I'm sorry I didn't get to practice this week, but part of it too is that I kind of find this, I really want to kind of dive into the cavities, if you would use that phrase, or just kind of like learn more about, just kind of grasp that. Yeah.
Well, you can keep working.
Have
on
more
that.
time. I've got the handout, I've got the recording. Yeah, I can. Hopefully this week will be a little easier.
And actually, once you begin to be aware, that's really the important step, is to be able to, whatever you're doing in your practice, to activate the cavities, at least the ones you're focusing on. And you don't have to do them all at once. Absolutely an important element, because it's part of opening and closing
Yeah.
the whole body. The joints and the cavities particularly are the focus of that. And that will come up in other things we're working on.
Right, that gets
course.
layered. That's right. Can't miss a layer.
The layers go on and on.
Yes. And if you miss one, then the other ones start making no sense or getting, getting wobbly.
As I was preparing for class this week, I was thinking that we're actually in our 5th year on Gods, and
We are? I wouldn't
And-
have guessed that, but
and we could keep going for a long time. And I'm only able to teach these 4 levels of gods. There are 8. So there's 4 more levels of gods, I'll say, to explore, which you'll have to do with Bruce, not with me. But
Have you not learned them from Bruce, or you're in that?
I am done some, not all of it, because if you think we've been internal up to this point, it becomes profoundly internal and more spiritually oriented too, because you begin to work with Shengong, which is a really spiritual Qigong, if you will, which is, the more advanced work. Interesting. So, anything for you, Carol? No. Okay. So, one of the elements that we focus on early, and you guys have looked at certainly looked at this more than once, is lengthening. And one of the things that I guess I want to say is that lengthening is really extremely important. And it's very counterintuitive, of course, to our Western way of thinking, because it has nothing to do with stretching. And it also is part of what makes everything else really possible. Of course, we have to work everything together, but without lengthening, that's one of the things. Each one of these certainly places a certain limitation on how far you can go, but without lengthening, it really, you can't even really fully implement bend and stretch and twisting and your breathing and opening and closing. So it's really extremely important. So I mentioned that we're not going to look at today at beginning lengthening. We're actually going to look at a little further development of it. But I just wanted to mention that if you should not avoid working on lengthening if you have. And so I guess first thing I would say is, does anybody have any questions about lengthening at this point? Do you feel you understand basically what that is and are able to implement it to some extent in your practice?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, good, great.
But I'm sure there's a lot more.
There's always
Some, isn't it?
There's always some more. So in the whole Qigong, Tai Chi, and Bagua world, they have all sorts of things about deliberately moving energy along the yang and yin surfaces. But depending upon the art, they flip this way and that, so you can't make any general rule, because it depends upon which one is specifically trying to integrate with what is inside your body. Now, one of these things that we have been working on is getting everything to work together. And one of the key elements that is sometimes sort of glossed over is lengthening. And the fact is that until lengthening is felt and working well, you cannot even fully feel or activate bend and stretch, twisting, threading, or opening and closing your joints and cavities. So it is very important. But in God's, when your hands start twisting and extending out, and I'm assuming you all know when that is. So when you arrive at your dantian and they begin to twist out. You're going to want to stretch along the yang surfaces, which is what we supposedly have been working on, so that by the time your fingers extend out to the last little bit, you're at the top of your head energetically and at your fingertips and your toes. Now, here comes the hard part. As you start twisting and bending in, you're lengthening in. So I'm talking about what's happening in your body. What's getting the the sense of getting longer and shorter. And that's what we're really discussing. Now, if you would take the distance between the bottom of your legs and your fingertips, just as we do in two, let's see if you can see the difference here. I am not lengthened. So if I lengthen into that movement, it will appear like this. I don't know whether you can see the difference. That's probably very hard on Zoom, but maybe the ladies can say.
I can't say that I could see a difference.
It's
I
difficult.
saw very subtle. Yeah.
It's very subtle.
Yeah.
If you were, the other thing, of course, that you can do is go out not lengthened and then lengthen.
Mm.
And that you can see more easily.
I was still only lengthening 70%.
Yeah.
Or
Or what you can do without going too far, whatever
Okay.
that might be.
without stretching.
Without turning,
Without stretching.
without turning into a stretch.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult part, because we get to here and we want to stretch
Oh,
out.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so it is difficult sometimes to make that distinction. So, so lengthening out is getting longer. Stretching certainly would not be the right word for it, because it's not one thing pulling against another.
Mm.
It's lengthening just that it gets longer. So there are many ways to get it longer, and certainly stretching is one of them. But now we come to what's really difficult, and that is lengthening in. When your hands and feet start to come back in and you're pulling into your body. But you're going to keep on pulling into your body until you get down to your dantian. And you go, and you're going to keep on pulling into your body up excuse me, the outside of your body and all the way down to the outside of your legs and your feet. So you can lengthen out and you can lengthen in, two really different ways. They have a great expression in England. How much puff do you have? You know, it's like, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, in the children's story. Well, when you want to lengthen and you're going out, when do you run out of lengthening? How much can you do? If you know that, either coming in or going out, you don't have that much puff. You have a limited amount of lengthening. So then what you should do is just practice lengthening in and lengthening out. So going back to just a very basic lengthening exercise, and I really suggest you do this standing, not trying to do a movement in guys, but just going back to the very basic arm movement that we've used in a lot of different ways. So that you can allow yourself to lengthen out, excuse me, and lengthen in. And so one of the things I want you to do first is, excuse me, pause on a lengthening out and really try to feel, have you really allowed that lengthening to occur? So if there is any tension or stretching or pushing, excuse me, no, that's not lengthening. And then when you lengthen in, have you allowed that to happen? And have you lengthened in fully? So you don't want it to be pushing out with the hands or pulling in with the hands. That's certainly not lengthening. So it's a release, it's a letting go. And it goes through the whole body. Sure, we focus on the arms first because we can really feel it more easily there. But we want it to also be happening through the legs. And bending and stretching is happening. And twisting is happening. You can even think about cavities if you like, Joanne.
I have, yes, I did that. I have been doing that. At least my knees and my armpits.
Yeah. So it's really important that you don't let this tighten up. And it's so easy to do that. And it's easy to fall into that tightening up in when we're doing gods or a Tai Chi form, which you guys will also get to look at later. So, anybody have a question right at the moment? Do you feel you're doing it?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Carol?
Well, at the moment, my shoulders are so tight, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
My scapula is just
Not a movable scapula this morning.
not terribly. But I feel like I am in my legs.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So
So
it's interesting that you mentioned that, because you want actually that lengthening, just as with everything else, to be coming from the spine.
Yeah.
So it's not it's not just in the arms. It's going all the way through. Absolutely. And in doing this, you can just focus on that very basic way of thinking about this, which is that it's coming in the yin surfaces
Mm-hmm.
to whatever depth you're able to do, and out the yang. And ideally, you would like to feel it in the fascia. And be aware of trying to allow the muscles to release as much as possible. And there should be a real sense of the energy flowing in and flowing out as you do that. And yes, the arms could be in any position.
yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
it's a mistake just for me to start up here.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
absolutely. So you don't have to do it up there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really good, I mean, it's something you can do. Doing it down here, and even doing it very small, when you're doing lengthening, there doesn't have to be very much physical movement.
Right.
In other words, I can lengthen in and lengthen out,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not doing much at all in terms of physical movement, but energetically it's very full,
Yes.
moving in and out.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to accomplish with that exercise, which is the beginning way
Mm-hmm.
of doing lengthening. Either Bill have a question?
No.
So as you practice this, if necessary, you will perhaps develop more puff and be able to make lengthening extend through your practice of gods, so that you keep on practicing and increasing the degree of lengthening out to the edge and lengthening in. But not a question of any absolute. It is a question of how much puff have you got. And we can make it pretty simple. You know, if someone does weightlifting and they have to lift 100 pounds, they can do it in one lift, or they can do it by lifting 25 pounds 4 times, building it up. So with lengthening, it's a question of when do you have a problem? And now I'm going to make you stand up again.
Go again.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Well, I actually kind of hoped that was coming.
I could tell that when you said it.
Oh,
Sitting is not my best thing right this morning.
oh, okay.
I guess I'm very tired, so,
Yeah, I said that yawn earlier.
so moving is better.
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm not ready for you to stand.
You want
But
us
you
to
can
sit for a
stand
second?
anyway. That's fine.
I'll
So,
sit.
so you could just practice that basic one while I talk, if you like, or you can just stand. So the second thing that should be added to how much lengthening do you have is how much lengthening do you have that doesn't cause something in your body to really contract. Don't overdo. If you have an injury and you lengthen too much so that you really start pulling against the injury, it's going to start hurting you. And you don't want to do that. You need to shorten the amount of lengthening you're doing. So all you're doing is playing with your capacity and your ability within the moment that you're in. And that's all it's about. Now when you start movement 2, we want to start thinking about it being like a tube. And you want to work in the middle of the tube. So what does that mean? You're bringing chi up the inside of your legs and down the outside. But the more effective way when you go to lengthening is that it's everything inside of you, inside your bag of skin, lengthens at one time. So there is no back and front. You lengthen everything inside the tube, but you lengthen it up and you lengthen it down, or you lengthen it toward the center of your legs. I'm sorry, center of you. Start that sentence again. Down. Or you lengthen it toward the center of your legs, and then lengthen it away from the center. And that's kind of what it boils down to. So as you're doing this, there's a problem that can arise with movement 2, and really any other movement. People's lower backs. If people have a bad back, that's an easy place where you can hurt yourself. And if a person has a back problem, and frankly speaking, 3/4 of our population has some kind of a back issue, you can focus on the spine to release the back, but you actually can get the legs stretching up and down internally to release the back much more effectively. You can do movement 2 with no problem, stretching down the outside of your legs and then stretching up the inside of your legs. But there's a better way, and that's doing the inside and the outside simultaneously, so that the energy is wholly inside. So you do both at the same time as you do movement in all of the movements, not only movement 2. So you're doing both the yang and yin surfaces, but also the inside of the tube. So if someone has a really bad back, how low can you actually go? And that should not be very low, just a small distance. If they go beyond that, then they're asking for trouble, because their bad backs are really going to get hurt. But you can completely release your back when coming up without it being a very big movement. If you're focusing just on the back and front surfaces, some of the back is not going to get it. The more effective way is that the internal stretching inside the tube is going to actually connect more fully with the back. And how far your back is going to bend is going to really be determined by what's happening inside the tube of your legs. what's happening inside the tube of your legs will either release your back or bind your back. And as I said, there's many ways you can do this. You can do it very simply when you go down the outside of the legs and up the inside. But you can be even more effective when you forget about the outside and inside and you do the whole tube inside. Because now what you're talking about is the chi inside your legs. You're not separating it out to its specific yin and yang functions. You're going for the whole thing at once. So this is a really important step beyond coming up the yin and down the yang surfaces. But which one do you want to do? Well, it's really up to you. Remember about puff? How much puff do you have? Which can you do? And then this can all be very confusing.
Yes.
And I recognize that. Because we say you could do this or you could do that. But the could do is based upon your capacity. And your capacity is based upon what effect it actually is having on you. And that's and they all work. Some will work better with a better degree of efficiency than others at that specific moment in time. So not necessarily in the next. And that's where you have to have a certain amount of spontaneous flow. So when you do the tube, it's everything inside the tube. All of the chi, all the way to the bones. And when you start getting the chi together, it's in your bones. Everything is very condensed together. But when you focus on left and right, it's almost a sense of everything just letting go a little bit. And this movement of one side activating the other. So they really do feel different. So when the discussion is very strictly about the body, which is one of the things movement 2 is really about, the back, I'm sorry, not the body. You're talking about the connection between the legs and the torso. And the legs are the big deal. Beyond that, until somebody can lengthen with the legs, the other things you can focus on in the upper part of the body don't go very far. Yes, you can focus on the yin and yang meridians, or you can focus on the whole inside. But the truth of the matter is, in the upper part of the body, the yin and yang separations are more valuable. So if you can do gods and come up the whole inside of your legs and body, that's it. You don't need anything else. You've got it. Doing the whole thing is a different matter. I'm simply saying that, saying start and do the legs, and that is the key to the door that'll lead you to it. And without that key, the door is not going to open. So I'm going to ask you to do a flow of gods. And as you go through movement 2, I'm going to suggest things for you to focus on in lengthening and other elements. And then as you go through, I want you to do the same things with each of the movements as you come to them.
20 reps. 20 reps.
Preferably. If you're up to 20, yes. If not, do a smaller.
You want a whole flow?
a whole
Is that
flow.
yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Those. Take a moment to prepare. And stepping out to your basic structure into Wu Jibu. Feeling very much how your body is open and breathing. Let yourself feel your longevity breath as full as possible without any extra effort. Let yourself become very aware as present as you can at the moment. And really extend your mind through your body and feel that. Then when you're ready, you can begin with movement 2. And as you begin, focus on moving your energy down the yang surfaces of your legs and then up the yin. Very aware of lengthening both of those energies. See if you can get the energy to come up both surfaces at once, and then go down both surfaces simultaneously. And see if you can be aware of how you are threading the chi through the entire body. At the same time, very aware of your joints and cavities, opening and closing. Today was a test for staying in the present moment.
Yes. I didn't hear anything.
Great. So, thoughts?
It's interesting. I started the day with various aches and pains. My hips have been off a bit. I had to go to the chiropractor. I just got a clutch car, so I'm kind of like a little heavy on the left side. And so I was a little worried that would inhibit the practice, but instead the practice seemed to correct that. It felt, my body was feeling better, as it should, throughout the practice.
Good.
I think I could feel the puff. I was aware of, I think, most of the aspects, at least, coming and going. I'm still having somewhat of a hard time with the energy flow pieces that you spoke of. Sorry, I have to
No,
raise
it's
my
okay.
voice. Of just the energy flows and the yin and the yang and the particularly in my legs. I was like,
Well, that's where we
need to go back. Yeah, that's the newer stuff, right? The other
Yeah.
stuff I feel like I'm putting together well and aware of, and
Yeah.
feeling that real moving of energy. Yeah, the chi.
Good. Bill or Bill?
Yeah, I thought the reintroducing extending out and extending in was very helpful to the movement of and feeling the movement of the energy and the idea of, especially in the legs, moving it, moving both at the same time instead of thinking of the inside and outside, along with the extension, I think gave me a better connection in my legs and connecting with the earth and starting with the spine and then that that seems to work better for me.
Good.
And and getting the extending in and out. Of course, I guess maybe all of us feel it more in the arms because we got more joints that are doing things and they're waving around all day long anyway. And,
Even when we're sitting.
Yeah.
so but I think particularly with the legs, the idea of moving it through the center and moving them completely, extending out and extending in, connect and doing that at the same time with the spine is sort of a mini breakthrough for me.
Good. Good. Thanks. Mr. Nagel?
It's interesting. It depends on the posture. I'm at various points along the way in each one of them. Two generally worked pretty well for me. Three, I had a really good time with this morning, feeling that
It's a little-
Whatever you said.
we lost the end of it.
there were a rather large bee flying around out there.
Yeah.
Read subtitles.
I'm not sure what's going on now, but
Yeah, in any case,
Quick talk.
I felt like everything was involved throughout
Uh-huh.
three for one of the few times. Actually, usually, I can be certain about a large portion of it, but it seemed like everything was working today.
good.
That was nice. I even had some sense of that in seven.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Whatever you said, Bill.
Something about getting better at 7 or still challenged, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling the energy moving around unimpeded for the most part in 7.
Oh, good.
And that's major for me. So
Good. Yeah. Okay. Anything
those
you, Carol?
Is he done?
I think so.
I think so.
My 7 was really good
Mm-hmm.
today. It just
Mine was, yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
I struggled through, I not exactly struggled through most of it. I got up with intense, soon after I got up, intense heartburn this
Mm.
morning. So,
Ah.
and
Ouch.
just
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind
that
of
affects
discomfort.
everything.
But and it's as Bill said, it sort of kindly, or somebody, it kind of gradually worked out of it, and then 7 was just very smooth and I just felt that my spine moving
Mhm.
better than it usually does, and
Wow.
and so it was kind of all brought together.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Great.
so
Good.
a good 7 day.
Yeah, I think we all had a good 7 day.
Well, and I think we've hit a noisy moment. So I'm going to say goodbye, guys.
Yeah.
Unless-
Hard to
Okay.
have a
boy,
convo.
this is just getting good, David.
I know. Thank you.
All
See you
right.
next week.
Yeah. Hope those cabinets aren't expanding and contracting.
Something is.
Lengthening.
I think the nails are lengthening out. That's what it's.
Either that, it might be sanding the floor.
So it's like sanding kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of screws if that's an it.
Yeah.
That's a screw.
That's the one you're taking out. It's okay. I don't want to have to think about it. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, the challenge. Yeah, all the new stuff.
Yeah.
But that's. Yep,
I-
that's why we're here.
I think one of the things that I noticed, and I'm going to look at the guys, I can't see them real clearly
From there.
from
Yeah.
here. I'm going to look at the video and I'll send them some notes too. But one of the things I felt that was important for everyone to really be reminded about is to keep the body moving.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the body stops
And the arms are still
and
going.
the arms are still going,
Yeah.
it doesn't help the energy flow. So that's kind of an important one.
I feel like I'm not. I think I'm aware of that. I feel like My challenge is I'm not stopping, but I'm and maybe slowing down.
Mm.
You know, when you get to the top and your arms are still quite, you know, it's
Yep.
like I've learned to stop stopping.
Well, that's good.
But some of it is just the continuing to the timing,
Yeah.
right, of the arms.
And that's
Last week I found myself trying to, you know, practice in front of the mirror just so I could see, kind of. But yeah, so the body stands, the body's up
Oh.
before the arms are where you want, where I don't want them to be here. Right. Yeah.
Well, I noticed that in 5, because that's, to me, that's the challenge.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
sink,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
sink
Yeah.
enough to get the arms up.
What?
To sink enough to get the arms up,
Yeah.
and then be slow enough to get
And
them
not
down
to sink
again.
too much.
But see, I was feeling like I was sinking too much.
Yeah.
You felt that, yeah, you observed that.
Well, and what that
I
did
tried
was
to get
it
a little bit- I
caused
tried to
you,
adjust
it
it.
caused you to reverse the movement because you were sinking too quickly, so you started up too soon.
Wow, okay.
Was that
Before I was really, okay.
Yeah, before the energy could possibly be at the crown of your head or wherever
Okay.
it was getting to. And that is the, you know, to make, not let 5 get too big.
Yeah, I felt like it was getting too big.
Yeah, let it be
this time.
small.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, that's what you've done. You're condensing everything. And so, really, and it makes it easier actually if you don't try to make that movement too big.
Yeah.
You keep it small.
Yeah, that practice we did with hardly any movement of the arms. It helped me with 4 because I've been making 4 big and it just aggravated my shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that. I
No.
can just do it right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Get the effect and the rotations in a better way.
Yeah. And you have to. I mean, that was the part of what I was saying today is to pay attention, particularly if you have a physical limitation, an injury or a condition in your body that limits what you can do. It's right. It's absolutely right to pay attention to that and to limit your movement in response to it. So, good. And then there's the form.
I mean, I think mostly because I did not get much practice. Beyond very honest, I didn't get much practice this week. But I try every day to at least grasp Sparrow's tail a little bit, if nothing else, kind of like on a break from the computer.
Yeah.
And just making sure that I'm really feeling each of those energies.
You know, and that's a really good place to work on lengthening.
I figured that, yes. Gee.
That
Yes. Yes.
So, one of the ways, you know, as this is not going to come as a big surprise to you. This is really because we've done this kind of thing before. But to do the lengthening in and then pause and feel it. Have you really lengthened in? And then going into the lengthening out. And pause.
Mm.
And have you really, I had a little more. And then the lengthening in, I started to tense up. So let it come in. And then out. And pause. And go through each piece that way. And that way you can really feel not only the lengthening, but it helps you really define each
Right.
of those energetic changes
Uh-huh.
because we tend to just kind of float through them.
Yes, I that's what I was doing, and then I'd go, oh, Carol's still at that, and why am I turning already?
And
Yeah,
it's
and this week I've been feeling like, well, I didn't practice much. I did the flow this morning, and is that I used to know how to do this. Why do I not know how to do this anymore?
that's because we've
Comes and
begun
goes.
to refine it and introduce complexity.
Yeah, or
So
Right, and it's amazing what your memory. I mean, there is muscle memory, but there's also
So-
like, what? Where'd that go?
Yeah, my muscles probably still know how to do it, but my brain is.
Right. And,
Not
well, and
always there.
sometimes is it the overthinking? It's
yeah,
It's not
and you
bad.
have to do some thinking.
yeah,
You know,
you
the
can't
reason-
just shut it off.
You can't just shut it off. You eventually want to let it get shut off, but you can't start there.
No, you're not going to go anywhere if you.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you get to this point, and then it's like, wait a minute, what's the next thing? Oh, more out. Now in. And now in. And now out. Just taking your time to feel each of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because our tendency is just to kind of
Boom.
physically do them.
Really?
Boom,
Boom.
boom,
Yeah.
Boom, boom. It's
Right.
and that's not what's happening. And what I suggested before, not in this class, but in another one, it is to just go take this, because you can't just try to do that through the whole form, because it'll take you hours.
You mean doing the stopping and
Yeah.
paying attention? Uh-huh.
So
Right.
take the two grasping sparrow's tail and single whip, and just do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
section.
No, I have to say I have been paying more attention to them. Yeah.
Because if you can get grasping sparrow's tail to work well for you, it's not too difficult to apply the principles to the rest of the postures.
Mm-hmm.
Because the grasping sparrow's tail is hard.
Yep.
I'm not.
Harder than I thought. I think that's at least I've gotten to that point.
Absolutely.
You know, it's kind of like watching just a basketball game and thinking, oh, they run from one end of the court to the other and they just throw it in. Like, no.
There's a little bit more.
And all the nuances and all of the, right, everything else that's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah. I mean, with everything there is, right? But-
And I think one of the things too is that we haven't really thought too much about is where is the weight on your feet and how is the energy moving through your legs?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another whole
Well, yeah.
another whole piece to it.
Right.
Um,
Right, yeah, and taking the gods practice and taking the
Yeah.
understanding we learn from gods and going, okay, which I think, because we've been doing the flow for so long, what we've learned from the flow goes into,
Absolutely.
gods, and now it's that reciprocal kind of,
it goes back and
kind
forth.
of, it goes back and forth. We have talked about the puff before. A
Yeah.
little bit, haven't we? Recent,
Yeah.
this year, 6 months maybe. I don't remember
Yeah.
when, but it was like I totally forgotten about it. So you said the puff.
Yeah.
The puff.
Because that that's part of the development is that you you increase the amount of puff that you have.
Right. No, I remember
Through
really kind of
practice.
Concentrate. It is a very British term.
Yes.
and bits and bobs.
Yeah.
You use the puff and you end up with bits and bobs.
So that was kind of what I wanted to say. There, do you either of you have questions that? I know you haven't had much time to practice.
Right, and
Yes,
yeah,
but
hopefully this
Any
this week there will be
particular
more.
issues?
No more memorials, no more. I'm around most of the weekend.
You don't have to cook this weekend.
No, and I mean, we didn't. Thankfully, we didn't have to cook for the memorial. They were massive, plates of eggplant and chicken fricassee, which I don't even know how to do. Some various pastas. But everything that goes with that, I mean, that just got dumped on the table by the deli. Everything else.
Oh wow!
From the coffee to the forks to the desserts to cutting the cake to
Wow.
to seeing people because
Yeah.
it's not a job. And he
Yeah.
said, my friend Matt said, "You're working this again?" And I'm like, I'm not working. I'm working, but I'm not. It's like not a paid gig. Here, you do this because you can, and people need it. But yeah. No, I think that's it.
I was supposed to go to see Jay this weekend because he was visiting. He's actually at Joyce Hedrick's, just passing through town, and she hosted a gathering, and I simply could not go because of the kitchen thing.
Oh,
We were just overwhelmed
yeah.
with that, and I was exhausted. So
Oh, that's right. And on Friday, somebody came to look at our kitchen. That's the other. So I had to get some. Because the kids are like, no, you got to get this done.
yeah,
Patrick wanted to get it. At least have somebody come in before school starts. He started school today. So kids start next week, but staff came in today. So it was like, oh yeah, in the middle of all of it. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get ready for this. I'm trying to like pull things out of the kitchen onto the dining room table. And now I've got somebody coming in going, how could you redo this to make it more accessible? Yeah, you think, it's not, yeah, it's a lot of work.
I just felt bad. I really wanted to see Jay, but
Where was he?
down in I think it's actually Groton, where Joyce had. Do you remember?
Was she Mrs. Mayor?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you say Mrs. Mayor and you get music.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's a text.
She had gone down to North Carolina, I don't know, 6-9 months ago, or maybe a year ago, and spent a week studying with Jay, taking private lessons and going to his classes, and so they got to know each other, and he was just passing through. He and Kathleen had been, I think, in New Hampshire maybe, and they're on their way home, and they just
Good time to go back to North Carolina.
yeah.
Get
So
hit
this
by a
was a
hurricane
good
tomorrow.
this is a good stopping point, and so they stayed at Joyce's, and I got to see a short video of him talking at dinner, as he was typically Jay, and he also. I had called and left him a message. He said he'd call me when he got home. So we talk every once in a while.
Is he in the Raleigh-Durham area? Or
Yeah.
is he still? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very close to the coast.
No, no,
Um,
thankfully. Yeah,
yeah.
the Outer Banks gonna get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I felt bad because I really wanted to see him, but
There's so much you can do.
Yeah, we all want to do everything.
well, particularly I am not even 70 anymore.
No, you're not, David. A few years past that.
The fact that I do what I do,
It's amazing.
So,
And thankfully for your Tai Chi, I'm sure has helped
oh,
tremendously.
absolutely. Did I? I told somebody. I don't think I told you guys. I got a shot in the spine a week ago, 3 weeks ago, and my orthopedic surgeon, after giving me the shot, I was fastening up my pants, and he turned to me. He said, "What's your secret?" And I said, "Tai Chi." He said, "Tai Chi?" He said, "I should be doing that."
Yeah.
He's Oriental, so he should be.
Yeah. I have a friend who just had more knee surgery, and she can't really walk with her feet in front of her,
Yeah.
kind of, and that's one of the tests. And she's like, "They tell me I should do Tai Chi," and I'm like, "I've been telling you that for like more than 10 years now."
Yeah, well.
But yeah, I mean, I think I have certainly around a sense of balance that a lot of other folks complain they don't have.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yes, especially
I,
with age.
I think it's made a big difference for me.
Well, it's more than just balance. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
everything's
it's more
vital. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Energy flow,
vitality,
yeah.
the energy flow is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I see other older people. I avoid the word old.
I do too. I get so upset when my younger sisters keep telling me they're getting old.
Nah.
Well, we all are getting older.
We are aging,
We're aging.
but
Yes.
being elderly and it can be a negative
giving it a
headset.
concrete state.
Oh, I
as
just can't
opposed
do
to-
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like I know I'm limited.
Yeah.
Like, there are
Yeah.
things I just cannot do anymore, and there are things I can't pick up anymore, or I will really hurt more than ever.
Mhm.
Just you have to live with those.
Yes, you do. I just, I'm always limiting myself because it's, so many things I used to be able to do.
Mhm.
And I can't do anymore. I have to just accept that.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah.
And then our bodies will feel better, and we will live longer if we're not trying to force ourselves. I think having Lyme disease for me, I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, cancer helped change my life in a good way." I don't really want to have to deal with that. But the Lyme disease did remind me, because when it came back the second time, it came back not because of a tick bite, but because I had let myself get exhausted. And so it just kind of reattacks, because it
yeah.
never really goes away.
Yeah, right.
It never really
It's-
leaves your body.
Oh.
And so I got so run down and
Yep.
so exhausted. And,
Yeah.
I can't let that happen again, or I will be down for another 3 months,
Yeah.
and it really does age too. So.
Well, fortunately, I've had Lyme several times, but this last time I recovered very quickly from it.
Good.
So, and so did Jane. Jane just had it too.
It's hard to live here, I'm sure. The deer, I brought the youngest grandkid out just to pick tomatoes the other day. And she's like, "I'm not going to get Lyme disease." Yeah. So I rubbed down her legs and we were in the front lawn or the front yard. We were like in the woods.
long.
No, it wasn't even. It was a little worse. It's a little worse than the garden. But it was a shame. It's okay.
But weekend before this last one, Moki managed to get himself on a tree for 24 hours.
Oh no.
So we're, down there wading through the brush and stuff and saying, "Well, I hope we're not getting Lyme again." So I know what you mean.
Right. We pulled ticks off up in the upper garden, not in the lower garden.
Yeah.
The deer go up there.
We finally had to get the fire department to come
Get them.
get him. Fortunately, they still do that. We didn't think they did, and then somebody said, "Yeah, they'll still do that." And two great people came in, and
How far up was he?
over 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's a
even
little
if you had a tall ladder, that's like I'm way past that.
Well, they came with a 30-foot ladder, and they had to go a little bit up. Actually, the guy was really smart. He said, do you guys have any treats for them? And,
Yeah.
And said, yeah. And he said, pick up some treats. So he took the treats. And what he did was he crawled out on the branch
Oh,
where
God.
Moki was and made
Put
a
treats
line of
to come in.
treats back to the top of the ladder. And Moki was so hungry.
I was gonna say yes, right?
You know,
probably,
he just
yeah.
gobbled those treats in down to where the guy could grab him and get him down.
Oh, the excitement for the week.
Oh yeah, right.
And what about the other one? Was he like wondering what was going on?
She was wondering what was going on, but she wasn't out. And we're trying to make Moki an inside cat now, and just put up with his yelling, because we don't want to go through it again.
No.
And it's not good for him either.
No.
So, the joys of living in the country.
Yeah. Although it can happen in the city too.
Yeah, you
There are
can.
trees there.
There are trees there. No.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Certainly not. All right.
Well, ladies,
Thank
I
you,
hope
David.
you can get a little more practice in this.
Yeah, I
week.
think we should
Pretty good.
all. Yeah.
And hopefully it won't
And
be
I hope you can. Yeah.
won't be quite as noisy next week, although supposedly we're going to be another 3 weeks or so before this is done. So,
Are they building the cabinets here or just bringing them
no,
in?
the cabinets are in our dining room. They delivered yesterday. No, it took them 3 months to make the cabinet. Not just ours. Just,
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a line. You wait in
Yeah.
line.
yeah.
It costs a lot if it took 3 months. Yeah.
So they came actually. I think that was what brought things to a head sooner. As
They got them in. Okay, let's get them installed.
well, they got to do something with them.
You can't live with them.
Well, they're
Huge. Probably.
huge, and they try not to move them around
Yeah.
or do anything because they don't want to damage them.
Right.
So,
Eating on the couch. Or outside. Which hopefully we will get rain today because one of my other crises this week was the Salem farm ran out of water in the well. And I didn't know they were using the house well for the crops because they haven't finished. They have a 300-foot well they just dug, but they haven't got all the equipment in it to pump it yet. And I'm like, oh, come on. Please. So, yeah, shut that off.
ain't life grand?
I know they're all
Strange
new at
day
this,
tonight.
but it's like you didn't have time